Well, praise Jesus and good morning, family. Arise and shine. We made it to another one. We in we in 2 Corinthians 12:9, and as always, read the whole chapter. But it says, "And he has said to me," this is Paul talking, "and he has said to me, my grace is sufficient for you." Jesus saying this, "My grace is sufficient for you, for power is perfected in weakness. Most gladly, therefore, I will rather boast about my weakness, so that the power of Christ may dwell in me." This Bible I have is a Charles Stanley. He gives little lessons of life, and he adds he's a preacher. You can look him up online. But anyways, he adds different principles and things to help study. It's helped me a lot, but it's got answers to life questions is one of these, and it's on this verse, and so I felt led to lead it to you today. But it says, "None of us can escape the pressures of life. Most of us know what it feels like to be disappointed. We know the painfulness of embarrassment, the sting of rejection, and the sorrow of failure. There will always be times when our circumstances seem to become overwhelming. What is out of control in your life? Is there a financial need? Maybe you face a relationship crisis and are urgently praying for God's wisdom. Regardless of your situation, you can trust this principle. Whatever brings you to your knees in weakness carries the greatest potential for your personal success and spiritual victory." Facts. Even though Paul could have listed many personal accomplishments, he chose to tell his audience what he saw as the key to experiencing a victorious life, accepting his weakness so that the strength of Christ might live fully in him. "I will rather boast about my weakness so that the power of Christ may dwell in me." We do not know the trial that Paul faced. He called it a thorn in the flesh. In the Greek, the word thorn means a stake used for torturing or impaling someone, no gentle affliction. He writes that it has buffeted him, indicating that the trial was either ongoing or reoccurring. When the apostle felt he could no longer withstand the blows, God reassured him that his grace was sufficient for anything he faced. Strength to withstand the stresses and blows of this life comes from only one source: the eternal indwelling presence of God. What the world views as strong is really nothing more than weakness under wraps. When we accept our weaknesses and the fact that we cannot handle life on our own, God goes to work. He sends encouragement and a sense of creativity, helping us to try new avenues that lead to hope and fresh beginnings. Are you weary from trying? Has exhaustion left its mark? Are you afraid others will see your weakness and laugh? Could a thorn in your life expose your deepest fear? Let it go. Release your fears to Jesus who loves you. Let him strengthen you. Nothing compares to the freedom that waits for you within his loving arms. Nothing will ever bring more completion to your heart and soul than knowing the unconditional love of God. It's yours today if you choose it. Unconditional love. He loves us unconditionally. But you got to accept that. You got to get in here and read what it says. Stop letting the world tell you you're not loved. Stop letting the world tell you you're this and you're that. It's all lies. It comes from Satan. He's the father of lies. He's going to lie to you. That's what he does. Quit playing the game. Quit playing the game with the world. The world's going to try to pull you down and hold you down. God's trying to bring you up, but you got to walk with him, and you got to step up. Step up. My grace is sufficient, Jesus said. Grace is being given something that we don't deserve. And like the way I look at it is like grace. Jesus, he came in with us. He saved us. He forgave us for our sins. He died to pay for our sins. And so that is sufficient. I mean, what else do you need? You're forgiven. When you accept Jesus Christ, you're in the kingdom. You're into heaven. What else do you need? You're free. You can be free on this earth as well, too. Like we talked about before, maybe not physically. The world's going to try to change you physically, and we can't do everything. But spiritually, we're free. When we accept Jesus, we're free. Jesus conquered the world. And so we can conquer the world through him as well. But we just have to give it to him and let him have it. It's all of it. We can't pick and choose what we want to give to God. God bought us for a price, and so he owns us. And so if you're following him and you believe in him, you've got to give it all to him. And that's the true way to freedom. Just giving it all to him and let him operate in your life. Period. Ain't really got to talk too much extra about that. Yeah, I love you. I love you. May God's grace be with you, upon you. Let it go. Let it go. The beautiful thing, the most beautiful thing I've learned over the years about letting it go, and it's hard. It's really hard. But when you let something go to God and you give it to him, you know what's meant from him. You know what's his will. If it comes back to you later on, you know it was God's will and he designed it, because God's will is going to get done. If you're following with him and you're walking with him and you're trusting him in faith, hope, trust, believing him, he's going to provide you his best. And it might not be what we look like, what we're looking for. Oh, I want that. It might not be that, but you best believe what God returns back to you that you let go, that's meant from him. But test the fruits of it. Make sure it's producing fruits, and on a consistent basis. You know what I'm saying? Plenty of car salesmen can sell you that fruit on the front, but then you get it home and start driving it for a week or two, and you realize you got a lemon. You got tricked, bamboozled. Don't be deceived. Be smart. Use your brains. God gives wisdom to those who ask. I love you all. I hope you have a blessed and beautiful day. May the shalom of the Lord be on you and with you. Accept it. It's yours. It's yours. The gift he give. It's yours. Take it. Thrive in it. Rise with Christ. Go out there and do what he's made you to do. Don't be like anybody else. Be who he's made you to be. Everybody starts pulling their own weight. It makes the biggest dent in the kingdom. We all got to work together. Good, bad, or ugly. We might not all agree on everything, but if we can agree on one thing, it's Jesus Christ. And let's let all the differences and the distractions and the things that are trying to separate all of God's people, let's let them go. That's not important. My grace is sufficient. Let's love Jesus and let's love our neighbor. That's what he said. It's really easy. We overcomplicate things way too much. I love you all. Peace. I'll see you tomorrow.